Introduction and disclaimer. This video shows all devices in a non-production environment. The devices, in most cases, are off or are fully unplugged from any external power source in order to clearly show the removal and replacement procedures and other aspects of the devices. The instructions in this video are current as of September 2014. Please consult the product manuals for the latest updates and instructions. Before watching this video, you should have already watched the caveats, disclaimers, and warnings video for required information. To replace a faulty expansion storage shelf SAS cable, you will need to locate and identify the storage shelf that has the faulty SAS cable. If necessary, have the customer take you to the unit with the failed component. If the work order provides an appliance serial number, verify that the serial number on the work order matches the serial number on the appliance that the storage shelf is connected to. The serial number is an SYM number that is printed on a label located on a vertical post in the middle of the rear panel of the appliance. Now locate and identify the expansion storage shelf that has the faulty SAS cable. If necessary, have the customer take you to the failed expansion storage shelf. On a NetBackup 5330 expansion storage shelf, the chassis number is located on a label on the front, lower right corner of the shelf. If the bezel is installed on the front of the expansion storage shelf, you will have to remove it. The storage shelf bezels are secured with a keyed latch. You may have to ask the customer for the key in order to remove the bezel. If you remove the bezel, place it in a safe place out of the way while you work on the storage shelf. You should be able to determine which of the 4 SAS cables is faulty by checking the RAID and expansion canister link LEDs. These LEDs show the status of the SAS cable connections between the primary storage shelf and the expansion storage shelf. The LEDs on the SAS expansion ports of the primary storage shelf, which are cabled to an expansion storage shelf, indicate whether the link to the expansion canister is optimal or has a fault. If the amber LED is on, there is a problem with the link, and there is no communication between the RAID canister and the expansion canister on the channel. If the green LED is on, then communication is established between the primary storage shelf and the expansion storage shelf, and the link is performing normally. Keep in mind that there are 2 RAID canisters located in the primary storage shelf, so there are 4 SAS cables used to connect the primary storage shelf to the expansion storage shelf. If a link fault exists on one of the primary canister SAS expansion ports, trace the SAS cable for the channel displaying the fault from the primary storage shelf to the expansion storage shelf. On the expansion storage shelf, you will find 2 expansion canisters, each canister holding 2 channels for a total of 4 SAS channel connections between the 2 devices. The LEDs on the SAS expansion ports of the expansion storage shelf, which are cabled to a primary storage shelf, indicate whether the link to the primary canister is optimal or has a fault. If the amber LED is on, there is a problem with the link, and there is no communication between the expansion canister and the RAID canister. If the green LED is on, then communication is established and the link is performing normally. Remove the end of the faulty SAS cable that is attached to the expansion canister. Now follow the SAS cable back to the primary storage shelf and remove that end from the primary storage shelf. Locate the new storage shelf SAS cable and remove the cable from its packaging. Insert one end of the new SAS cable into the empty expansion storage shelf SAS channel port by sliding the replacement SAS cable all the way into the expansion storage shelf SAS channel port until the SAS cable latches securely into the SAS channel port. Now move to the primary storage shelf and insert the opposite end of the new SAS cable into the empty primary storage shelf SAS channel port by sliding the replacement SAS cable all the way into the primary storage shelf SAS channel port until the SAS cable latches securely into the SAS channel port. Monitor the SAS channel port LEDs on the RAID and expansion canister channels where the new SAS cable was installed. Both of the SAS channel port LEDs should now be green, indicating the new SAS cable has resolved the problem. If the SAS channel link problem persists, contact your customer and technical support representatives for assistance and guidance in resolving the issue. You can now install the storage shelf bezel by locating the notches on the inside edge of the bar that contains front panel 5330 LEDs and buttons. Now align the tabs on the right side of the bezel with the notches and insert. Then align the tabs on the left side of the bezel with the notches in the bar. Press the bezel down until the tabs snap into place. The bezel is new, so the plastic may need to be flexed slightly. You can now remove your anti-static protection. Contact the customer to confirm that they are satisfied with the repair. After completing the hardware replacement procedures, Symantec recommends that you do the following. Remove all boxes and shipping containers from the installation area. Recycle materials as much as possible, and return any equipment or tools as needed.